isn't it, neighbor? Just like every day before today and every day after. But something about today is a little different. Our Sally Starlet might describe it as a spine-tingling, bone-chilling, and hair-raising sort of day. The sort of day her dear friend Poppy Partridge always dreaded, even as she helped prepare for the celebration. Yes, that's right. It was Sally's favorite holiday, the macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making. A monumental mouthful, if you ask me. But we've had our time talking. Let's peer into Poppy's window to hear about it for ourselves.
Oh, I just can't believe it, Poppy. Darling, you've produced such a dazzling and definite display. Thank you again for letting me use your not-so-humble abode for my macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making festivities.
Sally carefully placed down the assorted treats on the table. Some even looked like our neighbors. They ought to make one for the narrator, though.
Why, of course, dear. It's so lovely to help you with your, macabre, oh my.
My macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making, Poppy.
Right. Does it have to be monstrous?
Poppy! Horror is the backbone of the macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making. It is integral to what makes thespians, such as myself, able to convey true terror on stage. Everyone in home simply must experience such a sensation for themselves. So today, everyone will be adorning elaborate ensembles outside of their repetitious apparel and become symbols of pure horror.
Oh, but you're dressed as a clown.
Sally was dressed like a clown.
If everyone is going as something they are not, then I must do so in turn. A director does not leave her actors to fend for themselves. So I arrived as Pedrolino.
Pedrolino, for those of you who don't know, is from the Commedia dell'arte.
Oh, please, dear narrator. Of course they have.
Of course. Poppy bristled her feather and sighed gently.
I'm not quite sure I see the appeal, but I suppose.
Then look with your fantastic feathered soul, Poppy. There is more to understanding horror than sight alone.
More than sight alone?
Why, of course. A foul stench, a chill running down your spine, a sour taste in your mouth, an unexpected knock at your door. Oh, that must be our esteemed guest. I'll get it.
As Poppy returned to fretting and fawning, Sally walked over to the front door to let in the guests. When she opened the door, it revealed, why, none other than our good friends Wally Darling and Barnaby B. Beagle. Wally was dressed in a devilish outfit, while Barnaby was dressed as a werewolf.
That's where Beagle to you, pal.
Welcome, one and all. Oh, speak of the devil.
Hi, Sally. I'm a little devil. We're here for
We're here for tearing treats. Now, where's the punchline start?
Terror in treats? What is that? That's not what my extravaganza is called.
Oh, yeah, the invitation said it was, macaroni, macrame, marmalade mousse. I ain't saying all of that. I think tearing treats is better. It's got a little je ne sais quoi to it.
That's je ne sais quoi. You beast!
That's Mr. Were Beagle to you, too. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd beast be getting a glass of punch. Come on, little devil.
Okay, I like punch.
Wally and Barnaby made their way around Sally, who scoffed angrily at Barnaby's joke. It wasn't long before another knock was heard at the door. When Sally opened it this time, she revealed Julie Joyful and Frank Frankly. Julie was dressed as a witch, and Frank was dressed as a vampire. But they also brought a third guest, a tomato encased in red gelatin. Ugh.
Franklin Juliet.
That's not my
What a
name.
dashing couple you two make. Wonderfully witchy and vivaciously vampirific.
Ghoulish greetings, Sally.
We're so excited to be at your magnificently marvelous, majestically
there's a whole one inside.
So you have. How terribly frightful.
Thank you.
I like your clown costume, Sally.
Clown? It's Petrolino.
Wiggly worms and giggly grins. Watch out, partygoers. Frank and Julie's coming in.
Hey, a witch and a guy with a cape brought more eats.
I'm a vampire. The gelatin is for looks only, too. I better not see a bite taken out of it.
Sally could only shake her head before one final set of knocks rang through the party. It was finally our friends Eddie Dear and Howdy Pillar. Eddie looked quite elaborate with his costume as Frankenstein's monster, while Howdy wore a bedsheet. Presumably he's a ghost.
I worked hard, too. You ever tried to use 4 scissors at once?
Oh, please. Reusing the same ghost costume from last year, Howardson?
Oh, I resent that implication. Last year's sheet was off-white. This year's is eggshell white. And look, little room for the fellas.
Oh, he's right.
Of course. And what are you, mailman? What are you supposed to be?
I'm, that book with the fella who got brought back from the dead by the scientist. I worked real hard on this. He's got stitches, a deathly pallor, a bit of moral conundrum.
Yes, of course, mailman. Now come in, you two. We're just about to begin the festivities, and you're our last guest.
Well, don't I feel special? Almost makes it worth closing the store early. Is that my favorite regular over there? Gangway!
Oh, I like your Pedrolino costume, Sally. Just the other day when it was real slow in the post office, I was doing some reading about the Commedia dell'arte, and I just think it's just... Oh, did Frank bring one of those fancy molds again?
That's right, he did. Now, just come along inside.
Oh, that Eddie could talk. Sally ushered him inside with the others before closing the door behind her. Everyone had made it just in time for the festivities and the scariest part of the day. It was time for the telling of terrific tall tales. The neighbors gathered together in a circle on the floor, just as Sally announced story time with a flashlight in her hand.
All right, everyone. I certainly hope you've all brought your own terror-filled tall tales for tonight's macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making.
Tall tales? I only brought one of them, and it's right behind me.
It looks more like a short tale to me, Barnaby.
Oh, behave, you two. Now, would anyone like to go first?
Oh, me. I've got a scary story that'll make your ears ring with fear.
Julie waved her hand up excitedly and... Was that thunder? It's a beautiful day outside.
Of course, Juliet. The stage is all yours.
Julie took the flashlight with a smile and stood before the other neighbors, putting on her spookiest voice.
It was a dark, blistery night. Or maybe it was a really nice and sunny day. I can't remember. Maybe it was a little rainy in the morning and sunny in the afternoon. Who's keeping track anyways?
You're keeping track. You're telling the story.
Oh, that's right. Anyways, and on that beautiful, horrifying, dark, sunny day-night, a squirrel walked by and...
Julie let out a scream. It only scared Eddie, though.
What was that?
I told you, it's scary and spooky. It's my scary, spooky story.
Juliet, that's hardly a...
And then the squirrel leaned over and he saw...
Julie let out another scream. Oh, Eddie.
All right. I'm putting a stop to this terrifying trend.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty darn scary, if you ask me. I mean, you don't even know what that squirrel was up to. I don't like it.
Hey, I'm not sure if it's bone chilling, but I've got one that'll tickle your funny bones for sure.
No!
Now, you listen here.
But it was too late. Barnaby took the flashlight from Julie's hands and held it up to his muzzle like he was holding a microphone.
So, what did a vampire, a zombie, and a ghost say when they walked into a bar? They said, ouch! Except for the ghost. He says it went right to him.
I don't get it. Huh? Huh? Huh?
That is not a tall tale. In fact, it was incredibly short.
That's what I said.
Bon, you know I like your style, but I think everyone is bone tired of the stand-up. So maybe you ought to sit down and give Howdy a crack at it. I've got a real antenna shaker for you.
Finally, someone with a tall tale worth trembling over.
I'm not sure about this one.
You all better believe it, Sal. So there I was at the counter of Howdy's place, the home of everything you need and everything you don't, by the way. Just minding the shop, wiping down the counters as I do, admiring the array of wonderful products that you too can purchase and enjoy.
I think we ought to save the advertisements for television, Howdy.
You don't know what you're missing. Ahem. Anyways, out of the corner of my eye, there I saw it. A terrifyingly good deal, left unpurchased. Sitting on my shelf, taking up valuable real estate.
Oh, my stars. Not an inefficient use of shelf space.
Don't I know it? But it had been there for weeks, unmoving, lowering in value, lowering in price. It had to be clearanced. First 10%, then 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, until finally it happened.
No.
That's right. Not 75, not 85, not even 95. This must-have item was marked down 100%.
You can't be serious.
As serious as a heart attack. I was practically giving it away. But what was the buy of the century left unbought?
I'm dying to know.
It was the very sheet I'm wearing.
Oh, I knew it.
Available now for only 100% off.
Barnaby patted Howdy on the back as the caterpillar cried into his shoulders. Maybe these stories are starting to get scary.
Sally, may I tell a story?
Oh, Oliver, go right ahead. I suppose I don't see the harm, seeing how everyone else's stories have been, lacking.
Okay, I'm going to tell my story now.
Wally stood up in front of the rest of the neighbors as Julie had, and a hush fell over everyone. He held the flashlight, but it's upside down. Barnaby, could you turn that right? Oh, okay, thank you. Wally held the flashlight under his face as he began his terrifying tale.
Yesterday, I went on a walk. I saw a kite stuck inside of a tree. When I kept walking, I saw Barnaby. He was practicing his ball balancing tricks. Then I saw Eddie delivering the mail to Poppy's house. Oh, I almost forgot. I also saw a bug sitting on a leaf. It reminded me of Frank. After that, I turned around and went home.
And what part of that story is supposed to be scary?
Oh, I don't know if it was scary. I had a nice day. Well, I liked the part in your story about the bug, Wally. Thank you, Frank.
Oh, that was it. A quiet fell over the neighbors once more, but this time to watch Sally fume. She was shining brightly, getting more frustrated by the second as she tried to collect herself.
Must I really show you all what the true meaning of terror is? The macabre menagerie of monstrous mischief-making is all tall tale.
Sally snatched the flashlight out of Wally's hands and aimed it underneath her face. Everyone leaned in close to hear.
Have you ever wondered why it is we stay indoors every night?
To get a beauty rest.
So we sing each other goodnight on the phone before bed?
Oh, so we can sort our stamps.
What? No, sometimes, and no. It is because this town is rumored to have visitors at night. Something from deep within the forest, far beyond the hills and mountains. No one knows what it wants or where it's going. Just that it is persistent. Just that it arrives here. So many stories have risen about their origins. But I know what it is searching for. 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 Searching, 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 searching. It is looking for neighbors who have stayed out past the daytime to gobble them up whole. That is why so few live here. It moves through the streets at night, but it doesn't break into homes. However, on rare instances, it will find itself with an appetite left unsatisfied by its aimless wandering. Even the occasional unfortunate insect that has crossed its path is not enough. Those who have lived through the night say it isn't quiet about it either. They always say you can hear when it gets closer to you. Do you know what sound it makes? I hear it every night. You can hear it too, if you listen. Especially if you wait next to your window. First, there's rustling in the bushes. Then, the scratching on the pavement. And the walls as it crawls up. Finally, if you're quiet, you can hear its guttural sound.
I have props ready.
Oh boy! That had me jump up too! Now that was scary! Just like that, the macabre terror and treats nights was a success for Sally and the neighbors at home. Who knew Poppy dressed as a pumpkin with a platter of caramel apples was the scariest part of the night?
Especially not me. Oh, would you care for an apple, dear?
Oh, yes, thank you. To all of you out there on this terror and treats night, eat plenty, be merry, and be careful. You never know what will come rustling and scratching into the night. Happy haunting! And don't forget to wave up high.